Hi everybody, welcome to another video. I'm going to try and alter the format of my videos to make them a bit more entertaining for the general subscriber, because I do upload a lot of videos where I just show the actual finished knives, and I can appreciate that from the perspective of most people. You know, they probably get a bit bored with it after a while. But of course, you've got to appreciate that I do it more for the customers that are going to see those knives, and of course it's also good advertising for me, because it shows my development as a knife maker and how things have improved. But I'm going to add a few little extras into this video for you. So what am I going to put in? I've got a video of me attaching the scales to a knife, just gluing them on, so you'll see that. I've received some gifts, so I'll show you those. A quick sharpness test, I'll show you that. And then of course I'll show you the knives. So let's get the knives out of the way first. I've built two knives, finished them for Cornell, who's a chef, and the other one was for Paul. So I'll show you them without any further ado. There they are, look, that's it, that's one. And that's the other. Now on to the rest of the video. No, I'm only joking, of course. First of all is Cornell's knife. You might notice it's the sheath's a bit longer on this one, because he requested a longer blade. And also he's got rather special wood, curly koa wood, from stabilised curly koa wood, so it's a spectacular wood. So I'll show you that one now. Well, there it is. There's Cornell's knife. It's almost like a sword. Get it where you can see it all. First of all, we'll have a look at the handle. Look at that lovely koa wood. Mosaic pins. A tapered tang. Nice plunges. And there's the pommel. I couldn't get blue liners, and then I found a source of blue liners. So you got your blue liners that you requested, Cornell. So I hope that's what you like. Nice polished tang, super long blade. There's your hand rubbing and finishing. I'm doing a little extra to them now to get them just that little bit better. I can't tell you, it's a secret. But look at that, stunning. There you go, look. So that's Cornell's knife. Hope you like that, Cornell. That's yours. Red stitching as you requested, and just a right hand belt loop sheath, and you've got the logo obviously on the sheath. Next up is Paul's. This is Paul Deering. This is yours, Paul. You've got the classic standard length, red stitching on the sheath as well, with a matching fire steel. This is stabilised curly birch. Stabilised it myself. My fire steels are all sort of like, they're just square, because I haven't got a lathe. So I don't try to make them round. I just do sort of square and just round the edges off on the belt sander, and then smooth down and polish them. But if anyone wants a nice rounded fire steel, check out Mr. Scooty 1968. He's doing some lovely fire steels, and I wouldn't be at all upset if you were to use him for your fire steels, because see, I can only do the sort of square shaped ones. Right, well, first of all, you got a dangler with all brass fixtures, fittings, brass D-ring. There's your logo on the back of the dangler rather, and there's your sheath, So that's that. Now look at the knife. There's your knife, Paul, with the curly birch scales, black liners, mosaic pins, a lot going on in that handle, tapered tang, there's your pommel, there's your blade hand rubbed and finished. And the other side, there's your tip, if you can see it. So that's it, Paul. I hope you like that, mate. Thanks for your patience. Thanks everybody that's been waiting for their knives. So I've got a few more on the old order book to finish off, and then I'll be starting on my email list. Not much more to do now, and I'll be on to the email list, so we're gradually getting there. So that's that. Right, that's the end of the knife viewing, so now I'll just put you on to the rest of the video, and you can just enjoy a little bit of entertainment from Mr. Jacklore. See you soon. Bye. A few gifts I got recently. This is from Sam, Sam Knight on YouTube. He's got his own small holding. He's doing video logs on that. He's well worth checking out. So thanks for that, Sam. The Old Ways: A Journey on Foot. That'd be a good read, that. Also recently I received this. A Maglite XL200, which is 172 lumens. Now I don't know much about these lumens, but I know it's pretty bright, you know, so it's the brightest torch I've ever had. And it came with this handmade card, and I thought that was really quite personal, you know, touch. I'm quite impressed with that, and it's made by Gareth Pert's girlfriend, and Gareth Pert's one of my customers. So thank you very much for that, Gareth. This is one card that I'll not be recycling. I'll be keeping that. That's really quite special. That. Thanks very much for that. And that can stay on my desk over there. When you get feedback like that, it makes it all worthwhile. Here's a rare look inside the Jacklore before I assemble it. This one is being built up for Torbjorn's knife. And first of all, I'll show you the blade. It's all been prepped and degreased, and you can see the hollowing out of the tang and the roughening up. And I don't want to touch it in there, but I mean, if you were to rub a fingernail across any of that, your fingernail would grab, and that's the sort of roughness you need on the actual tang itself. And the scales, I always drill little pockets like that to accept the glue, and it just increases the surface area. And I always drill through the fibre liner as well into the wood or material. This has been stabilised. These scales are quite spectacular. I think Torbjorn will like them. They're a book matched pair like that. You can't see it so well on that side because there's the kerf marks from the saw, but that side is smoother. And of course you've got to finish off the front bevels before you put them onto the knife. So that's that. Then onto the pins. And they've also been roughened up, you know, so they're going to accept the epoxy and degreased. So it's just a matter now of me just assembling this and gluing it up and clamping it up, and then tomorrow I'll shape those scales and that'll be a finished knife. when you are gluing a knife up, I always find it's best to come into a nice clean environment. You don't want any grit, any debris floating around. You don't want it to get into your glue, because my scales have been lapped on a lapping plate to make them already flat, and the last thing you want is anything to interfere with that flatness. So they're perfectly flat. And you get a little bit of grit in there, and it could just kick it out a little bit. And then when you come to finish a knife off, it will look as though the liners aren't on completely flush. And the other thing is thorough mixing of the epoxy. Don't skimp on that. This epoxy needs a good 45 seconds of mixing before you can use it. I always epoxy up both surfaces to be bonded. And then what happens when you clamp the knife up, all the excess epoxy squeezes into all the little crevices and gaps in the hollowed out tang, and gives a really super bond. Just clean up where the glue can squirt out from at the front there, because you don't want that sitting up there. And you see I've clamped it up now. You don't want to put the clamps on too tight either. If you made it all flat in the first place, you don't need a lot of pressure, just sufficient to nip it all up. Then I can remove some of the excess glue which is squeezed out. Not so easy to do up here because of the clamps in the way, but that all grinds off anyway, so it's not too much of a problem. And then I've made sure the pins are all where I want them to be, and I've made sure the lanyard tube is clean and not gunged up, and that's ready to be set aside and left to dry. I don't have great sort of thick hairs on my arm. You can see a nice selection of hairs there. So just rest the knife on there like that, and then let the pressure of the knife just go with it. So that's shaving sharp. There you go.